I couldn't recommend it highly enough to anyone out there who suffers any sort of low back pain.
My mom said the first time I got on that thing and inverted, she said the look on my face, I looked like I was so relieved, the pressure.
And I will continue to use it for my back for many years to come.
It's been one of the best purchases that I've ever made in my life.
I have 6 grandkids, and I am able to get on the floor and play with them. Thanks for being there for me. I really appreciate it. Keep up the good work and stay upside down.
Man, it feels so good and just really relaxes you. I don't know that I'll ever not use this every day.
We use it every night right before we go to bed. We love our inversion table and we couldn't do without it.
I just really wanted to say thank you.
It is indeed my pick of the show. Always is. It's my favorite all-time best-selling product here at HSN, and it's yours too. 27 years ago, we launched the first Teeter inversion table. 27 years ago. It's still our #1 best-selling, what I call passive fitness piece of equipment. But 27 years ago, the price of the original table was $299. 27 years fast forward, massive amounts of improvements and upgrades, and it's the #1 bestseller in terms of the top of the line, and it's $10 less than 27 years ago. Yet, all the while, people have been enjoying the benefits of inversion. 3 million users all over the globe, and we're watching Donna do the inversion. Let me share with you this, though. If you want to take a minute to read some reviews, you're going to be very impressed because people who have spent a lot more money on the top of the line X3 table have made this a customer pick. There's literally like 1,300 reviews, and it's a 4.6 out of 5-star rated customer pick. 95% of the people who've done inversion, use inversion, would recommend it to a friend, and you will too, knowing, by the way, this is FDA registered. There's a lot to talk about with this. By the way, there's a 400% safety rating on this, not the other ones that are out there. Don't be fooled by the competition or the competitors, because they are way, I mean, they're just not good. This is the one with UL safety certification that makes such a big difference, a 300-pound weight capacity. And we're gonna talk more about the details and the things that we can now talk about in regards to how it helps people live a life that is pain-free. We are going to talk about that with Riley Teeter, amazing woman. I love Riley, and truly, I always thought of your dad as like my second father, because I didn't have one growing up, and he was just one of my favorite people of all time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, and he loved being here. He was impassioned about this product. He lived with back pain for 5 years. I mean, back pain that was so debilitating that he couldn't get out of bed in the morning. He would roll to the ground. He would crawl to the shower to get hot water in his back just to be able to stand up. And he tried everything. I mean, every type of option out there, he gave it a shot. And it wasn't until he was introduced to inversion that he finally got relief. But guess what, Callie? Back then, it was gravity boots. So you had to like bend over, strap your ankles in, hold onto a bar, hoist yourself up, and it was full inversion. And my dad was an engineer, and he said, I know I can make it better. I know I can make it more accessible for more people. That was 44 years ago.
Wow, and still going strong. I mean, the product is global. I would love, if you don't mind, starting with what the FDA even allows us to talk about, because back at the beginning when it was $299, we didn't even have all of these things that we could share with everybody.
Right, I mean, it's pretty huge, all the different things that can be benefited from using a teeter for just 3 minutes. So FDA gave us overarching back pain, also sciatica, that's a pinched nerve. So if you have radiating pain, numbness in your leg or down your arm, that's a pinched nerve. Using the teeter will help give you relief. Spinal degenerative joint disease, spinal curvature due to tight muscles. Do you have bad posture? This is gonna help fix it. Muscle tension, herniated discs. Another term for herniated disc is bulge disc, slip disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasm. So, I mean, you think about that, that's huge because we're talking about muscle issues. We're talking about alignment issues, disc issues, all of these things relieved naturally with it at the source. Instead of like taking a pill, where your back's still screaming, you just can't hear it anymore. This is real relief. The spot that's aching, if you have a pinched nerve, you're relieving the pressure, you're relieving the pain right at the source. If you have a herniated disc, you're giving your disc a chance to recover and rejuvenate. I mean, this is something where no side effects, all upside. You're
100%.
It's pretty incredible, and that's truly, Callie, why we're the only brand inversion table that has been on HSN in all 27 years. We've been incredibly popular. You've never brought in a competitor because we're the only FDA registered one. For all those 10 benefits, we're the only ones with the UL safety certification, and it works.
It really does. I've had a couple different tables over the years, and I think I just unplugged myself. But I mean, it is just one of the most incredible things. I've had my lower back has been my issue since I was a 12-year-old girl, little childhood injury. And we all have a story, don't we? I mean, whether it's a golfing accident or just one-sided activities, everybody's got a story, because dealing with pain from a back injury or any kind of other issue is so exhausting and debilitating, and it makes you cranky, and you just can't live your full life.
You can't, and your back is Grand Central Station. It is the foundation of everything that your body does, from the communication between the rest of the brain and the rest of the body because of the spinal cord, from your flexibility to your mobility, just your general ability to be active. If your spine isn't functioning properly, you are not functioning properly. And here is a solution that goes, again, 3 minutes. It's going to naturally realign your spine. It's going to relax tense muscles, rejuvenate the discs. So if they have injury, it's going to help them recover, and it's going to relieve pressure on nerve roots.
Oh, the relief is amazing. We've got some testimonials I'd love to share with you. Bob is the first that I'd love to share. We can relate to so many of the different testimonials that we'll hear about. I'm going to jump on the table too, because for me, you don't have to go into full inversion. If anybody's been freaked out or scared, like, I don't know, what do I do if I can't get up? We're going to show you that. There is zero, I mean, it's so easy, and it is so comfortable, and you only need to do it basically like 3 minutes a day.
Yeah. I mean, it's gentle. It's simply a stretch using your body weight and gravity. And a great analogy that I think will help you visualize what's happening is, think about a tangled necklace sitting on a counter. If you grab one end and you pull the other, it will just gently and naturally just straighten out. And that is what we are doing with the spine, is we are just pulling on one end using the same weight that's compressive when you are upright to decompress. And so your neck is being decompressed by your head weight, your lower back's being decompressed by your whole torso weight. So each joint is getting the perfect stretch to bring the pressure in the spine to at or near zero. And Kelly, this is really important, because this is why 3 to 5 minutes is such a dramatic result, because there's background compression in your spine, even when you're laying down. And you need to pull 60% of your body weight to bring the pressure to zero. And when that happens, these discs that don't have a blood supply, because every other part of your body has a blood supply, and when injury happens, there's constant nutrition and feeding of the cells through the blood supply. Your discs don't have that. They rely on the moments when the pressure is off of them to absorb the nutrition that they need. So again, going to bed at night, there's still background compression. It takes a long time for those discs to get the nutrition. When we get on the teeter, in 3 minutes, with the pressure at zero, those discs just absorb the nutrition so that they can recover.
Well, and this is so interesting. I mean, watching how it affects the body. This is the study that I think is fascinating.
Right, because this was a medical study where volunteers permitted a pressure sensor to be surgically implanted in their disc. And it's really showing us, why is back pain epidemic? What are we doing in our lifestyle? So here we know that bending over is hard on your back. That's why they tell you, lift with your legs. But this is the big deal. Look, when we sit down, we think we're taking a load off, but the muscles relax and the pressure goes way up in the disc. They're carrying all the weight. And so if you have a pinched nerve or any issue that the FDA has indicated this for, that can be really hard on your back. But here we see, when you go to bed at night, there's background compression. So those discs that are hungry to get the nutrition that they need to recover and rejuvenate, take hours and hours to get what they need. And this study showed you need to pull about 60% of your body weight, and then the pressure in the disc gets to at or near zero, and all of a sudden those discs get the recovery. So this is showing stretching, relaxing muscles, realigning the spine, and of course,
Oh,
that
you
disc
guys,
recovery.
this is our last show. And by the way, this price will go up to $459 because this is the X3. This is not the original. There have been so many improvements. We'll in fact take you on a tour of them after we listen to Bob, because his story is so compelling. Like every person who lives in pain and then had relief because of the Teeter tables. So listen to Bob, and then we'll show you more about the table afterwards.
I love to golf. I walk 18 holes of golf every Sunday. I was hurting all the time. And golf was a chore. I wasn't hitting the ball that well. I saw the Teeter commercial, and I saw one of the guys saying, he inverts and gets out and he plays. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. After like 10 or 12 days, I was fully inverting and I'm flexing on it. And I'm like, wow, it's giving your spine a mini vacation because you're taking all that pressure off of it, letting it stretch out. It's given me a lot of motion back. My pain is reduced. My outlook is great. And I'm hitting the ball the best I've hit since I've been playing golf, since I was 30. I'm jazzed. I'm just, Every Saturday we take the grandkids for like 5 or 6 hours, and pretty much anything they want to do, I can keep up with them. And that's huge. I mean, that's quality of life. That's big stuff. You can't buy that. I mean, and that's what you want to do. Teeter helps me lead the physical life I want to live. I don't just endorse stuff unless it's made a big change in my life, and this is one of the things that's made a big change in my life.
It has literally changed millions of people's lives. Literally, millions of people all over the world. I'm glad you're here. This is our last show of the visit. This price will not be extended after this weekend. This is it. So don't even think twice about it. I recommend get it home. If you've ever thought about doing it, don't keep putting it off, because back pain is just going to be sitting there waiting for you. All the little things that we do in life, like I was telling you, I bent over to shave my legs a couple of months ago, and I'm like, oh, there it went. And you educated me that it was just there waiting.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, what's interesting is that it wasn't that small little incident that blew out your back. In fact, injury had been building over time. You just didn't realize it because your discs don't have nerve endings. So there's no feeling as small tears start to build slowly over time. And that's literally why they call it the straw that broke the camel's back, because it's one seemingly small thing like making the bed or picking up groceries, and all of a sudden your back goes boom.
Yep.
And that was it.
So since then, I've been really regular on my inversion table. It's right in my bedroom, next to my bed, and I know yours is too.
Well, that's why getting started even before that, because why wait until you have a big problem? Like, get ahead of it. And that's why it's so great for the family, because if somebody in the family already has back pain, I promise you, everybody else is a ticking time bomb. Our backs are doing so many things. We're sitting more, we're in bad posture. Bad posture creates localized high stress points. Your shoulders are over like this. It's not only unattractive, but it causes stress. So improving your posture. Everybody can get a benefit from using the Teeter because it's not just dealing with pain, it's preventative and it's improving posture.
I'm gonna jump on. As I do, let's talk through it. It goes from how tall to how tall?
4'8" to 6'6", 300-pound user weight capacity with a 400% safety factor. And real quick, I wanna show everybody, this is the X3. So you're getting every feature that we offer. It has our special decompressive surface bed. This is critical. I want you to pay attention to this because this is what really makes this something where the FDA has us registered. Because if I put foam on this bed, your body would sink in and you would not get the stretch. Right, so think about putting foam on a kid's slide at the park. They wouldn't slide anymore. And I bring this up because our competitors, it's gimmicks, right? So you need a smooth decompressive surface. We added, included with your purchase today is 8 nodes. There's 4 different heights, you get 2 of each. This is like a massage therapist. You find the knot,
and you put them wherever you would like. If you don't want them on there, you can just take them off.
Just remove them, right. Then you get the lumbar bridge, which is adjustable to multiple different positions. This is one of my favorite features because it is fixed. It allows you to square your hips. So if you have, because if you go to the chiropractor you've ever been, they lay you down and they look at your leg length, and it's not because your legs are actually different lengths, it's because it's an indication that your hips are twisted, right? And which happens really easily, actually. I mean, if you're sitting on a wallet or sitting with your legs crossed, this can twist your hips.
Interesting.
And so we wanna get that foundation of your spine realigned first. So this helps do that. All right, so real quick, 1, 2, 3 could not be easier. First thing you're gonna do is set your height. Callie, what should I set?
5'9".
Okay. Go right here. And then you can set your maximum angle of inversion. So if you know you want to start at a very gentle angle, you can do that. And again, you never have to go to full inversion. Benefits begin at just 20 degrees and are fully realized at 60 degrees, which is about the angle of the rear leg.
And then this is a huge upgrade. Used to be, that was an extra upseller if you wanted the upgraded foot.
Well, this was originally made for the medical community. And then HSN customers said, we would really like to have that. And so my dad made it happen.
He's, oh my gosh. So you really are getting the best table, the X3. This is the FitSpine at lower than the price of the original table 27 years ago. That's why this weekend is so important, and I'm really glad you're watching. So don't wait, because if you wait until after this weekend, you're gonna spend $460 for the same table.
Yeah.
Okay, here I go. I love my inversion table. It's so comfortable. I don't use my tether strap when I'm at home because I feel comfortable going into full inversion, but I just love sharing with everybody who's concerned about how do you get up. Watch my knees. You bend your knees, pull your arms back to your hips, and it automatically just brings you back up. So you can go back and forth. I love the rocking motion like you're seeing Donna doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this just feels so good.
It's easy. It's weight distribution because we set the height, and so Callie, half of her body weight's on one side at the pivot point, half her body weight's on the other. So it's simply moving the weight to one end or the other that controls the rotation. So you are in complete control of how far you go back, how quickly you go back, by the speed of which you move your arms. And then see, she stretched out even. So when she brought her arms to her side, she didn't come back up the same way because her spine had elongated and more weight had moved headward. So then she had to bend her knees a little bit. But you can see, you are in complete control. This isn't a situation where it's scary or that you have to go back too far. And then this is literally just letting your body help itself. You're stretching it. The body weight is gently stretching your entire spine, realigning it, rejuvenating the discs, stretching and relaxing muscles, and relieving nerve pressure. 4 different ways you're targeting back pain. 4 different ways you're creating a healthy spine, and it takes just 3 minutes.
Oh, you guys, it's so peaceful. It's just like, that's why we call it the passive side of exercise. I know your dad used to do upside down crunches, and he was amazing. Take it there if you want to. But before our time runs out, I'd love to listen to a couple of the doctors. Because doctors, a neurosurgeon is on deck to tell you more about what he thinks. So take a listen.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves. There's less compression with the facet joints, and the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
That's what I love the most, a natural way of dealing with the problem. Don't take pills and don't schedule the appointments. This will do something naturally, and it targets right where the source of the pain is.
And you're in control because it's in your house. I mean, that's the thing that I love that the doctor said at the end is nobody has to do anything to you, which I think is critical, because otherwise you got to get somebody to agree to massage you.